very proud of them. No, I'm very proud because I think it's impossible to play in these conditions. It's not human, you know. So I'm very proud because they gave to me 100% with intensity, with a lot of attitude. So we are happy. We are in the half time of the qualifiers. So now try to rest after a very difficult game for us, and I'm thinking about Saturday in the Open of the MLS.
All right, so let me put it a little bit more into perspective, because it's one thing to say that it was very, very cold, and I'll be a little more specific. It was 3 degrees Fahrenheit, and at the half, the real feel was at a -8 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So it was very, very cold, Shaq. But what do you think of Masche saying that it was not human to play in these conditions?
Javier Mascherano's first language is not English, but he could not phrase that any better. There was nothing human, nothing right about playing the game in those conditions. And I feel for Javier Mascherano in trying to represent what it was for his team, how difficult it was. Credit to Inter Miami for getting the job done. At least you can leave there saying you won a football game in the most inhumane of circumstances. Let me not say the most inhumane, because we've seen this from time to time with Major League Soccer, which, as a guy from the Caribbean, I do not understand and will never get. You come away from it with a win. As far as I know, no other injuries, major injuries to report. So you take that and you get out of there as quickly as you can. But it just does not make sense from a sporting perspective to play soccer in those conditions. Even in the goal, the ball that Busquets plays, the ball it just seemed, and Busquets is one of the best technicians that you will ever see. But it just felt as though he couldn't dig that pass out. The ball didn't seem to fly through the air that well. It wasn't bouncing as it should. I mean, it's wrong on so many levels.
Jack, can I ask you a question? You played in England for many years. Mascherano was in West Ham. He was in Liverpool for about 5 years.
Yeah.
How cold does it get there?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near here. Okay, because the only reason we're talking about this is because of Lionel Messi. Because LAFC versus Colorado played, nobody mentioned anything. And it looked just as cold. I saw images of Oliver Giroud with his beard frozen. That's the same field that hosted the Snow Clásico, the U.S. men's national team versus Costa Rica. Listen, it's because of Messi, and if Messi brings awareness to this, I am cool with it. Nobody mentioned the poor folks in Colorado and Commerce City and what LAFC and Colorado had to go through. Nobody questioned that. We're going to question it right now because arguably the world's greatest player is being affected by it. He said inhumane? Yeah, and it's not the first time. We were talking off air about the U.S. men's national team because, look, this happens all over the world.
Right.
Bolivia's going to take you to La Paz, right? Honduras is going to take you to San Pedro Sula. The U.S. men's national team will take you to Columbus, or they'll take you to Minnesota. And last time they were in Minnesota, they took Honduras to Minnesota, and Matt Turner comes up with a mysterious injury. And we later hear from Bruce Arena that it was some sort of frostbite in his foot. So it is inhumane to play in these type of conditions. Hopefully it gets better. But can you guys, for a second, open your mind to the idea that's been floated around by Major League Soccer of changing their calendar? Shaq, they want to play in the winter. They want to take you in the dead of the winter to Kansas City, to Colorado, to New York, to Toronto, to Montreal. Let this be a warning of things to come if you want to change that calendar. I know you want to align the calendar with the rest of the world, and I'm here for it. It's going to help your league in the transfer market. You're going to be more of a participant. You're going to have more just warm bodies, better bodies to bring into the league at that stage. But at what price? In an already congested schedule, they moved the game over 1 day. Mm-hmm. This could be very detrimental. Be careful what you wish for.
But to your point, Hugh, and while absolutely yes, having Lionel Messi in the league brings focus to these issues, that's needed.
Yes.
These discussions are needed. If you want to grow this league and continue attracting the brightest talents in the world to come and play in Major League Soccer at some point, whatever point it is in their careers, you cannot be playing in these conditions and compete with the other leagues around the world in attracting those talents.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. My worry is that this is not going to change. They are going to see this as this being CONCACAF. Mexico City will take you to the altitude of Mexico. Mexico will take you to the altitude of Mexico City, Azteca. Honduras will take you down literally to San Pedro Sula. Costa Rica will take you to San Jose. And the list goes on and on. I played against Antigua and Barbuda in a cricket field, in a monsoon. These things don't change in CONCACAF. And that is my worry when it comes to, let's not even CONCACAF Champions Cup, Major League Soccer, and them trying to align themselves and do these things.
That's tough too, because it's not only the timing and the schedule, it's a logistical part of it, because as we know, some of these teams play in NFL stadiums and having to coordinate all of that too. I mean, the Rayados,
even the soccer-specific ones who organize other events like concerts and whatnot. Exactly. And they'll have to think of maybe putting a roof on that, which is millions and millions, a close to $1 billion project if you want. So that's really tough. The good news about having to talk a lot about this subject because it's Lionel Messi is because this